Hi, everybody. I am Ali Sweeney. It is such a joy to be with you all today. I am just so excited, so grateful to be here. That just feels like the overriding emotion this morning is just gratitude for all of you for showing up and being a part of the Heart Coherence Collaborative and choosing to spend some time with yourself and all of us in meditation. So, I am an intuitive guide and meditation guide teacher. And today we are going to be talking about the observer and the higher self and your intuition. So before we get there, how we usually run these classes, we'll talk a little bit and then we'll jump right into the meditation. We might have a little of time afterwards to kind of regroup on how it all went. But before we get started, I'm popping a link into the chat, and it is for the Heart Coherence Collaborative community. That link will help you sign up for a 7-day free trial. And I just wanted to encourage you to sign up because I've been a part of the community since it started now. And what I find really valuable about it is the support of all the people that are in this community. It's pretty amazing. People share their hopes, their dreams, their biggest fears, and everybody chimes in and says, yes, we're right here with you. So it's really a beautiful place to get connected, get support from people who are really choosing to live from the heart and be in the heart. So I hope you will check it out. I just popped the link into the chat. So do sign up if you haven't been a part of it already. So let's jump into class today. So I want to talk about intuition and the highest self and how we access these parts of us. And I'm curious, I want to hear your questions about this realm of our world, but also I'm curious if you know what might be blocking you from your intuition, right? Are there things that you think are true that you don't have intuition, or you're not special, like that, something like that? It is my belief that we all have intuition that we can access from our hearts, from our highest selves, from the divine, however you like to refer to it. But a lot of times we're taught that we can't access it, that only certain people can, or that that's really not for us. Or maybe if you're like me, you grew up in a household where logic was the thing that was important. And if you've heard me talk about logic before, you've heard me say that logic can be faulty. We need logic. I mean, we need our brains to balance these checkbooks, to do our calendars, to get to all the places we need to get to in a day and do this life. And yet, sometimes our logic can be faulty because our logic is built on conditioning. So you have beliefs that you were taught, that were given to you, that were modeled for you. And if those aren't in line with who you really are, but you're basing your decisions off of the logic that comes from them, then your logic could be faulty. So, what is in the heart is always real, it's always true. And what we're doing when we meditate is we are building the observer muscle, right? So, when you meditate, if you think about it, you're noticing what's happening. You're in the experience, but you're also noticing what's happening in the experience. And that observer muscle, that observer part of you, is the part we want to tap into. That's the part that can help you access this intuition. Now, I will say one other thing about intuition is it can often get confused with instinct. And so when you are scared, your fight or flight instincts start, right? That's what happens. That's why we fight. That's why we fly. Why we fly, right? Why we run is because it's an instinct to get to a safer place. So a lot of times people will confuse that with their intuition. And I would just offer that meditation is a great way to access your intuition because you can move from a state of fight or flight where it's actually very difficult to access your intuition and get to a place of rest and repose, a place where you're calm. And so that's where you can begin to hear yourself again. So hopefully that makes some sense. Anybody out there want to share what you think is blocking you from your intuition, or if you've noticed how fear of something like that could be holding you back from a greater knowing in your life? Please do chime in, or if you have questions about intuition or how you might access it through meditation, pop those into. And if we don't have any questions, we'll just go ahead and get started in our meditation today and finding that observer muscle and finding this place of rest and repose. Yeah, so in our chat, we said the heart is where wisdom comes from. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Is that in the heart is what's real. I'm sorry, I always laugh at the chat without saying what it is, but somebody just put caffeine. Absolutely. When you're all sorts of jittery, it's hard to find the center of you. It can even be hard to find the heart. So, something to pay attention to. If your body is one that really reacts to caffeine, notice. I would recommend hydrating. I think water can help you out of all kinds of instances. So, somebody else says fear, basically fear of knowing, which is funny. Self-doubt. Yeah, it's always fun to just notice where you might be blocking yourself from yourself. That's what the most amazing part is. It's really from yourself, from this beautiful version of you that doesn't have to effort so much, doesn't have to try so hard. All this logic, all this mind, you really have to effort with it. You really have to try. And that's so different than from what happens in this observer space and in the space of intuition. So you're all in it with me this morning, and I am so grateful. So let's just move into the meditation. I want to invite you to set down your keyboards, let go of the chat, close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And I want you to bring practice to noticing, observing your breath. So there's lots of different ways you can observe the breath. You can notice what it feels like in your nostrils. You can notice what it feels like in the rise and fall of your chest and shoulders. You can listen to the sound of your breath. Whichever way you want to observe your breath this morning, bring all of you to it. So all of your focus, all of your attention to that one aspect of your breath. Notice if you want to jump out of that focus. It's natural and normal. But if you find yourself moving away from focusing on the breath or wanting this to move faster, see if you can be here with us. See if your breath can be enough in this moment. Let it be enough. Your breath is the gift of this life. See if you can feel the reverence or the awe of that. How long has it been since you noticed your breath? Now bring your attention to your belly, deep in your belly. If it's hard to bring your attention there, I want you to bring in a big, deep belly breath. And just notice, what can you observe about your belly? Is it tight? Is it relaxed? Is it calm? Strained? You're just noticing. And if your belly is on the tight or strained side, remind yourself that you're safe. You could sound something like, I am safe. You are safe to experience your emotions. You're safe to experience your intuition. There's nothing wrong about what you are doing. And I want you to name one aspect of your life that is stable right now. If you can't think of anything, the sun will set today. It will rise again tomorrow. What is stable in your life? Just noticing what happens to your belly as you bring in this idea of safety and stability. It's here for you. Whether you feel it or not, it's here. Let it surround you, be with you. Hmm. Fantastic. Now I want you to ride that breath one more time and straight into the heart this time. Bring all of your attention to your heart space. Now, whatever is here for you in the heart is here. And so, whether you prefer it or not, give it some attention. That's what your heart wants. It wants your attention. So, notice, be the observer within your heart. What do you notice in your heart? Is it something that you'd like to feel? Is it something that you'd rather not feel? And see if you can tap into the essence of you in this heart space. Stay with it just a little bit longer. Bring all of your attention to that heart. Even if it's uncomfortable at first, it's worth staying there, I promise. Most of us jump out of the heart when we feel something uncomfortable. But a lot of times, our hearts just hold the pain of the past. And if you acknowledge it, it will start to soften. So see if you can stay in there for just another moment, inviting in this essence of you. Now, from this observer space, what is it that you would like to experience? If it's safety, use that. Maybe it's clarity or love. For me today, it's going to be peace. Whatever it is for you, you know what is best for you. And imagine a beam of light of that particular frequency coming to the top of your head. Let it flow into your mind, your skull, your ears, your neck. Let it flow into your shoulders, down into your hands. You're still the observer. Notice what this feels like. Does it feel like it's here for you? Because it is. If it feels like it's being blocked, that's okay too. Just notice. The more you practice, the better it will be. Keep imagining, feeling that beam of light moving through all the cells in your body. And then bring your attention to your heart one more time. And open up your senses to whatever might be here for you. Is there something to hear? Is there something to see? Something to feel? Something to know? It's just for you. I promise you, you can't do this wrong. Just imagine listening to the essence of you. What do you have to say? What I am being guided to say is, you are amazing. There might have been things that happened in this life that have told you that you're not, but you are. That is the truth. And my hope for you is that you come to know it and believe it. What if you were to say to yourself, I believe in me? What does that feel like? Being on your own team is a pretty good feeling. Give yourself another breath or two. And then open your eyes. Stretch your body. If you brought a journal or a piece of paper or something, I encourage you to write down. Did you notice? This is how we make sort of meditation real after the meditation. I can remember what it felt like. Was your system able to relax? Did you notice the observer that was different from you? Did you feel the essence of you? It's a pretty cool feeling. Well, I had a lot of questions during the meditation about safety. So stability is a great way to remind yourself that you really are safe. So safe to experience your emotions, safe to experience your intuition. These are things that are not generally taught in our society. And so that's why we get to remind ourselves that this is actually true, is because we get all the information that it's not. So when we can remind ourselves, it's helpful. And stability is a great way to do that. So you can think of, before you start your meditation, you can think of different things in your life that are stable, and then remind yourself of them in the meditation. Because what happens is your instinctual system in your belly, when it's faced with change, it sets off an alarm that makes us feel afraid. It doesn't mean that the change is bad for us. It just alarms when there's going to be change. So when you know that, you can soothe the alarm. So that's what we did first, by reminding ourselves that we're safe and bringing in that feeling of stability. So hopefully that helps for those of you who have some fear. I have lived that life in fear. And so I get it. And there is a way through. I know that often when you feel that afraid of everything, it doesn't feel like it. And I know that there's a lot of fear in our world right now. And so it makes sense to me that you're feeling it too. So I'm putting another link in the chat. And if what we did together today felt like something that you would like to follow up on, connect with again, I want to give you a gift. And the gift is for this Heart Coherence collaborative community. And it's a free call with me. I'm an intuitive coach and intuitive guide, and I use energy and intuition to help bring clarity. And so it's just a phone call, just you and me, and 20 minutes. And you bring what's swirling for you, you can't get a handle on, and I'll tell you what I see. So you can check out, this is my business name, A Light Insight. So you can find me that way if you can't find the chat and the link. I'm just going to check in on the chat here. Checking visualization. Okay, so there's a question earlier. I thought I should visualize red light to feel the peace or love in my heart. So you, instead of visualizing, if that's difficult for you, I want you to feel. So what would feeling peace or love in your heart be like? You don't have to see it. You just have to remember what it feels like. And if you don't feel like you've ever felt love or peace in your heart, then you could just imagine what you think it might feel like. So those are the ways around visualization. There are lots of people who have trouble creating those kinds of images. And it has a lot to do with memory and how our brains operate. So that would be my suggestion, is to try feeling it instead of seeing it. Or you could use any of your senses. Some people smell their intuition. Kind of wild. All right, everybody. If there's no other questions, I hope you will make a reservation for a call. They tend to fill up quickly after these events. So do check that link. And I will be back on Sunday, the 26th at 11 a.m. Eastern. And in the meantime, I hope you use, here, I'm going to post this link again. I hope you use the 7-day free trial to join the Heart Coherence Collaborative community. So, okay, let's see. One more. You thought the red light should help you feel, but I want to increase my visualization ability. Yeah, I think it's just about practice then. Just imagine practicing. Oh no, the link doesn't open. Oh, well, let's see. Let me try again. Let's just try it this way. It's go.alightinsight.com/HCC-clarity. Yeah. So, okay, so back to visualizing, just let yourself imagine an apple or someone else is suggesting pets or something that is, you can just let yourself imagine. But I don't want you to get stuck on that something has to be visualized to be real. As long as you can sense it in some way, you're doing it. So it's not that you're doing something wrong by not being able to see things. So you can feel things and know things just in the same way. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I am so appreciative. Go be the wonderful selves that you are in this world and let your lights shine. And I will see you next time. Much gratitude. Bye-bye.